Hello, friends. This is the Singer 1591. Um, I wanted to make this video for those that are passionate about vintage sewing machines like myself and just kind of share a little bit of my experience and why I prefer vintage sewing machine versus another and so on. If you own a vintage sewing machine, you may relate to some of this content, so please subscribe. I'm going to be making a series of videos where I'm going to be reviewing my small little collection of sewing machines and why I chose to use them for specific projects. I love to sew clothing. I consider myself a dressmaker, seamstress, however you want to call it. I make all my clothes. I decided to start sewing all my clothes since about a year and a half ago. So I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert, first and foremost, but I do enjoy to sew pretty much every day. So I've learned a few things. And if you are into vintage sewing machines, I think that you will relate to this content and hopefully we can build that relationship and just be new online friends, content creator and viewer friends. So yeah. So this is the Singer 1591, I'm sorry. And for a while, I was not really into the machine because of the setup. So most machines have the tension lever here on the front, and this little thread guide that goes up and down is usually located here on the front. Call me silly, but for whatever reason, I was not into it at all. I wanted to have this little lever position here in the front. This is rare. I mean, what is called front loading bobbin setup, and I love dropping bobbin design. I mean, it's so easy, and I don't know, I just think it's better. But with this machine, for some reason, I really ended up loving it. It's one of my to-go machines. I use it a lot to fix my clothes, especially with thick fabrics like denim. I found it super easy to control the back stitching, so you can go back and forth so easy and do a little bit of mending on your clothes, like if you need to repair your jeans. I have another machine, which is the Singer 206, which I'm going to make a review as well. It has a zigzag stitch and straight stitch, and it has a back stitch. And for some reason, the 206 K, the back stitch lever, it's a little bit harder to use. And I mean, it's not hard because obviously it's meant to do a function, there. If you pull it up, it'll start stitching back or going backwards. But I don't know, I just really enjoy the Singer 1591 because of how easy it is to just go back and forth when I'm fixing my clothes. And especially because if you have it on a threadle, as you can see, I have a piece of fabric as my sewing belt right now, which if you guys didn't know, you can use a piece of fabric with threadle machine. So if for some reason your leather belt breaks and you gotta wait to order one in the mail, you don't really have to stop your project. You can just use a piece of fabric and finish it up. So yeah, so this is my Singer 1591. I am currently in the process of getting the bobbin fixed, the bobbin winder. This one is not working, and this is actually a replacement that I purchased from eBay. And for some reason, the spring that keeps the lever up, it's not working. So every time I'm sewing, it's constantly moving, and it's just, I don't know. I wanted to get it repair and restore the original, glory of this machine. So I ended up purchasing another one off of eBay from a different seller. And they're a little bit hard to find. These kind of they're called sewing bell guards, and they come with the bobbin winder attached. The bobbin winder system is attached into these parts. So when you purchase a new one, you pretty much have to get the whole replacement. So I will be keeping you guys up to date on the restoration project, and then show you guys how it's replaced and how you can fix it if you own one of these machines. I mean, kudos to you because you have an amazing machine. I love to use my 1591. It has a beautiful stitch. It's a strong machine. And if you're into the threadle like I am, you know what I'm talking about. So this machine used to be actually electric. So it came with what is called a potted motor, which locates, it's stored on the back. But I just prefer threadle. And I converted it into a threadle machine. I purchased all the parts online, the replacement parts, so I could convert it into a threadle. I have also a Singer 66 Lotus machine, and then a Singer 66 Red Eye. And I'm going to be reviewing those machines too, because each machine has a purpose. Like this one, I love to use it for repairing clothes. This other one, I mostly use it to start projects when I'm start making clothes from scratch. Just because it has a zigzag, so I can just hem my edges and I can get a little bit of a better work done than just this straight machine, which is not absolutely necessary. That's some of the things that I'm going to cover. You really don't need a zigzag. I have a vintage, I'll show you guys here in a second. I have here a serger. This is 81.3 Singer serger or overlock machine, which I also converted into a threadle. But you really don't need a serger, to be honest. If you own a sewing machine, and especially like an old vintage Singer 66, 1591, 206, a 319, 120 AJ, you can make clothes with those machines. You don't need a serger. But what I mean by that is that you can make clothes and not need a serger. It's nice to have it, but if you don't have one, don't stress about it, because you can make beautiful clothes without it. And that's some of the things that I want to share also on this channel. So if you're, like I said earlier, if you're into vintage sewing machines and you want to be part of this journey, please subscribe, and I would love to keep you updated with my sewing machines and my projects, and just kind of go over, more in depth about why I chose to use this machine. If you're in the market to buy one and you want to just get more information about, why you should purchase a machine like this, so maybe this will be beneficial to you. So stay tuned.